Welcome back to the news today. Among the thousands of killings carried out by the horrible Islamic State terror group is now an 82-year-old antiquities scholar who spent over 5 decades as head of antiquities in the archaeological gem of Palmyra. Ayman Siksik has more on the story being erased by IS.
Palmyra, the ancient Semitic city in the Syrian desert, is now the final resting place of the man who devoted his life to preserving its archaeological fortunes. 82-year-old Khaled Assad had worked with archaeological missions from the US, France, Germany, and Switzerland on excavating the 2,000-year-old city, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. But his lifelong mission of preserving the history of Palmyra became a race against time when the city was overrun by IS. The jihadist group, which sees the historic artifacts in the city as an offense to its understanding of Islam, claimed Assad was preserving, quote, false idols. His established reputation in the field made him a target. Images posted online Wednesday showed the decapitated body of Khaled Assad, proof that the group had realized its threats. Assad's family members say he had been held and interrogated by IS for at least a month before his execution. Assad apparently refused to reveal to his ISIS captors where valuable artifacts had been moved for safekeeping. According to the Syrian Antiquities and Museums Authority, looters have broken into tombs and Roman temples in the ancient city, looking to steal the antiquities. Meanwhile, the Syrian army has been attacking IS in Palmyra from 3 directions since early July to try to force the militants to retreat. But advances have been slow and inconsistent, and in late July, the IS released a video showing 25 Syrian soldiers being executed by teenagers in the ancient amphitheater in the city. Syrian President Bashar al-Assad announced that same week that the Syrian army lacks human resources but will continue fighting to free Palmyra, a prospect that comes too late for at least one man, whose killing is now part of the history he spent his life preserving.
Unbelievable. With me right now is Senior Middle East Analyst Ali Waqid. Good evening. Thank you very much for joining me. This is, every time that we're saying how low can they go, this is so low.
This is a very sad story, Lucy. Unfortunately, it is one more sad story from thousands of sad stories in Syria that are touching the life of people and the historical heritages in which Syria is well known and very rich. I think that this showed that this is, like some Americans said, this is a kind of war of civilizations, but not between the Muslim world and the West, but absolutely between the Islamic State and the West. I think that in the last weeks, some of those in the Western community was maybe enjoying to think that the Islamic State can be part of the new geopolitical arrangement in the region, understand that this is presenting a serious threat not only to Syria and Iraq, but to humanity and to the humanitarian heritage of the region.
And like we're watching and seeing, Syria continues to fight. And today we're talking about another attack on Kurdish.
Yeah, Lucy, as more as the Security Council will try to bring the parties to the table of negotiations around the 4 points of the initiative that was the day before yesterday adopted unanimously by the Security Council. As we said yesterday, I'm afraid we are going to see more escalation in the Syrian war from all sides, and we are seeing the regime fighting the Islamic State fighting the regime, and also the other rebels group, plus of course the international coalition that is bombarding the Islamic State. So for the moment we are seeing an escalation in the chaos and in the very deep significant chaos of Syria. The question that by September, when this initiative will be launched, how much hope will remain in the hearts of the Syrian people, and how deep will be gone the tragedy of the Syrian people.
You know, we've been talking a lot about certain opposition, let's say, sides to this conflict. Where are they standing now, and who are they now?
Well, I think we can point two main countries that have strategic interest in Syria. One, of course, is Saudi Arabia, and the other is Iran. With Saudi Arabia, we have the Western camp and Turkey, and with Iran, we have mainly Russia, and in a passive way also China. In the last weeks, also because of the atrocities of the Islamic State, the international community understood that after a long time of difference, we should come to a point that will bring all the international community together around some general point. And I think for the first time we have a chance that the parties understand that this war is going to a deadlock, and it is about time to launch a diplomatic initiative. But still, the key difference about what will be the place of Bashar Assad in this plan is still dividing the big superpowers. And in the coming weeks, it will be the main issue that will be discussed between Saudi Arabia and Russia, between Iran and the United States and the West, in order to find a solution.
Ali Lockett, thank you very much for this.